Okay, so probably the biggest story coming out of the NFL draft this past weekend is what happened over in Green Bay. Of course, the Packers got savage for their draft, and it all began with them trading up to draft Jordan Love, quarterback, in the first round, which seems rather strange because you've got Aaron Rodgers there, and he said he wants to keep playing till he's like 40, which I've always found a little dubious considering the injury history he's had and just the natural life cycle of a quarterback. But you know, that's what he wants to do. So trading up for a quarterback following a 13-3 season where you're presumably going to be making a run, trying to make some runs at the Super Bowl here over the next couple of years to get one more with Rodgers. And there's a lot of funny stuff involved with this because for years everything involving Aaron Rodgers is it's always someone else's fault. Everything that happens, if they lose, it's always the fault. It's Mike McCarthy's fault. It's the supporting cast fault. It's the receiver's fault. And everyone buys into that, and so they run off the coach. They bring in the new coach, and they go 13-3, and everyone's like, "Oh, it was Mike McCarthy was the problem all along." Well, here we are a year later, and suddenly they're drafting a quarterback. So is Mr. LaFleur sick of the Rodgers Act now too? Because you're not drafting a quarterback in the first round, let alone trading up for one, if you're planning on having them sit. No, they got this guy because he's going to be their quarterback probably within 2 years. Because this isn't like the old days where you would draft a quarterback, even in the first round and have them sit for 2, 3, sometimes even longer years. I mean, I can't even think of the last time that a first-round quarterback sat for an entire year. So, I wouldn't necessarily expect Jordan Love to play this next season, but he's going to play, and he's going to be their guy sooner rather than later. So, we were told all last year that LaFleur and Rodgers, they just get along great, and it was, well, now that we got McCarthy out of here, everything is hunky dory. Well, maybe not, because you're not making that move unless LaFleur is on board. So, and by all accounts, Aaron Rodgers is not very happy. He is pissed off that they made this move, and not just that they made that move, but they didn't draft any receivers. So, already the rumor mill is churning about, okay, Aaron Rodgers is going to go somewhere else. Maybe not immediately, but eventually somewhere. Of course, everyone's going with the easy joke that, oh, well, of course he's going to end up with the Vikings just like Favre did. No, that's not going to happen because Kirk Cousins is our guy for many years to come. Obviously, the craziest one would be if he ended up in New England. But, again, that's not going to happen immediately. But he is going to end up, if he wants to play, say, till 40, he's going to have to go someplace else because they're going to kick him out. But it's interesting to see history kind of repeat itself because 2005, Packers have Brett Favre, older veteran quarterback. They draft Aaron Rodgers, and now this year they have Rodgers as the old veteran, and they draft Jordan Love. Not quite apples to apples because obviously with Favre there had been talk, that maybe he would retire, and also Rodgers fell to them. They didn't have to trade extra assets to get him. It's very different this time. You know, there's really been no talk ever about Rodgers retiring, and obviously they had to trade up to get Jordan Love. So it's like it's kind of a slap in the face to Rodgers, but kind of the way he is, I don't have the least bit of sympathy for him because year after year, anything goes wrong, he's just throwing people under the bus. Whether it's obviously McCarthy, who he got fired after winning a Super Bowl with him, or it's linemen, or it's receivers, or it's the defense. You know, he's one of these guys. It's never his fault. You know, he's one of these kind of protected quarterbacks that it's never his fault. It's kind of like Brady. It was never his fault either if they lose a game. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's got to be an interesting situation if they have a season, how things play out over there, because you know, if LaFleur and Rodgers get along, that's an incredibly bizarre move to draft a quarterback and to really not get any weapons for your aging quarterback who wants to make one more run at a Super Bowl. You know damn well he really wants to win a second one, because Favre didn't win a second one, so then he could really, you know, stake his claim as being better than Favre, and so they do this, and it's like slap in the face to him. But again, no sympathy. It's like he's a diva. I mean, for God's sake, the whining after the Anthony Barr hit a couple years ago, which was a completely legal, clean hit, and he whines about it, and they have to go change rules because he whines about it. You know, I don't have any sympathy for this guy. It's just more of an interesting, potentially juicy drama. It's nice to have the dysfunction, you know, across the border, because we've had our fair share of dysfunction and drama here, but it's just an interesting approach, I think, to see what Green Bay did. And you know, of course, you've also got people saying, well, now this will motivate Rodgers, and now he would already be motivated to win. I mean, you know, if they have a big season next year and win the Super Bowl or something, they didn't do it because they lit a fire under Aaron Rodgers' ass. Okay, so, but we'll see. You know, I think obviously I hope it blows up, and it's a chance it will. I think I already think Packers are going to take a step back next year anyway, because you know they're got a first place schedule. They're not going to get that kind of break from everything. I mean, God, I'm not even going to bother doing the list again, but oh my God, there were so many things that broke their way last year. And so I think the team right there will be retaking the North anyway, so have fun, Packers. Skol.